This book is called The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. And Eric Carle, I happen to know, he did write the book and draw the pictures. So this is called The Tiny Seed. We're going to read about the tiny seed. And this is the front cover of the book. And here's the back cover of the book. And that is Eric Carle drawing. How about that? And there's some of his other books.
What is he drawing?
Well, maybe he's drawing this flower. Who knows? He draws all kinds of things.
I sure like Baymax.
Hey, do you remember when we read The Grouchy Ladybug? Oh, okay. Well, he wrote that one too. All right, here's the what?
Front.
That's the time.
This is the front.
Oh.
The title page. I think I tricked you, James. And it says The Tiny Seed. What does the tiny start with? Tiny.
What's that letter?
T.
That's it. And what does seed start with? S.
What's that letter? Look at it. What's that?
What letter is this?
I see S.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You're right. And Eric Carle's name is very big at the top, and then the title is right here, The Tiny Seed. And what do you think the book's going to be about?
A plant.
I think so too. This picture makes me think it's going to be about a plant. The front cover made me think it was going to be about a flower. So let's see. Okay, you know, we've been talking about spring. So of course, the first page of this book says it is autumn. So that's kind of weird. And anyway, they're all those are the colorful leaves, and they're getting ready to fall down. It says a strong wind is blowing, and it blows flower seeds high in the air. So all of these are flower seeds. And here's the little tiny seed. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they going? So now we're going to see where the seeds go. This is a way that seeds get planted sometimes. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. So it didn't get planted. It died. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So there are all the others, and of course there's the little tiny one. See it? All right, let's see what happens next. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, so the seed cannot grow. So it's just stuck there in the snow.
Well,
the
sun letting it melt.
Well, when you get up high in the mountains, the snow never melts. When I went to Alaska in the summer, even though it was summertime, the snow in the mountains was there the whole time. So here is so that seed is stuck in the snow, but here go the others. They're going off. Do you think that's the tiny one? I think that's the tiny one. Tiny, what does tiny mean? What does tiny mean? Huh?
Tiny.
Tiny, does it mean giant, huge, big?
Tiny.
Yes, but what does that mean?
Small.
Small. There you go. Tiny means very small, the little, really tiny, really little. And there it is. There's the little tiny one. And here are the seeds. The wind is taking them over the ocean. And one seed falls into the water and drowns. So this seed is gone in the ocean. It's not going to grow because it needs to have some dirt to grow in. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others.
It goes low.
It is blowing low. All right, one seed drifts down onto the desert. The desert is very dry. So that seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but it pushes on with the others. So different seeds fall down in different things, and sometimes they grow and sometimes they don't.
No.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one of the seeds. Whoops. So of all those seeds, one got burned up and one got frozen and one got drowned and one got eaten. But what happened to the tiny seed? The bird did not see the tiny seed because it was so small. And so it didn't get eaten. Oh, there's the tiny seed. I couldn't find it for a minute. It's tiny. There are the others. But there's the tiny one. Now it is winter. After autumn, after fall, comes winter. Then when we just left winter, didn't we?
Mhm.
After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look as if they're just going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. So look at that mouse. He's living in a tunnel under the ground and he finds a seed and eats it. Whoops. He finds a seed and eats it. But look, there's the tiny seed. There's the tiny seed being tiny. The tiny seed lay very still and the mouse does not see it. And now it is what season that we're in?
Right.
Spring. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by. The sun shines. The rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little bit. So the first thing that happens is the seeds soak open and then they burst open. I wonder if ours are bursting open at school. Now they're not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. These are the roots going down. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and the air. This part right here is called a stem. Say that word, stem. And then here are the what? Leaves. Mm-hmm. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed. It takes all the sunlight and rain away from one of the small new plants, and that plant dies because it can't get any sun or rain because of the big weed covered it up. But the tiny plant, look, there's the tiny seed growing a little tiny plant. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. Well, I thought that was the tiny seed. Here, I think that's the tiny seed.
Yeah, that's the tiny seed. That's the tiniest one.
Hurry. Oh, it says it will be too late. Hurry, it finally starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and he steps on one and breaks it. But look, there's the little tiny plant. It used to be a tiny seed and now it's a tiny plant and it doesn't get broken. But the one that's broken can't grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, its neighbor has a flower. And look, a shadow looms and somebody picks the flower. And when they break off the flower, it can't grow anymore. So now the only one left out of all those seeds is the tiny plant. Oh, it was a boy picking a flower to give to his friend. Oh. Now it is summer and the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and it doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. Now it's taller than the people, taller than the trees, taller than a house. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Well, it was going great until it became a giant flower. Now I don't think this story is real anymore.
Mhm.
I've never seen a flower bigger than a house.
I want to see a flower big.
All summer long, the bees and birds and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. It is beautiful.
The red one's like.
And now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Now look, some of the petals fall off because it's getting cold and it can't keep growing. And they sail along with the bright leaves, and then look what happens. That plant makes seeds and it starts all over again. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. And when it shakes the flower, out of the seed pod come many tiny seeds that sail far away into the wind. So all those seeds that we watched at the beginning, one of them grew into a flower that made a whole new bunch of seeds, and now they're starting all over. We could just go back to the beginning of the book because it starts over. That's cool, isn't it? And that is the end of the tiny seed. And in my book, it has this thing that has it has paper with tiny seeds. So I thought we might plant it at school when we get back so that we can watch. Well, we're going to plant this too. This piece of paper has seeds in it, and we can put the seeds in dirt and see what they grow into. But when we planted seeds, do you think we planted tiny seeds? I thought the seeds we planted were very tiny.
Yeah.
So I hope that they grow into big seeds, don't you? I mean, into big flowers.
No.
All right, love, it is time for us to go. And I love you so much. And I'll see you at 9:40, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for the I love yous. Get you some breakfast. Have a cup of coffee. We'll see you at 9:40, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Miss Ramsey. Bye, James.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you.